Environmental Studies at Ohio University. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a simulation of a geothermal power plant with stuff you can have in your house. So the materials needed for this activity is aluminum foil, an empty soup can or bean can or whichever you have. That's approximately 14 ounces. A pot, a medium-sized pot. Oven mitts for safety protection, and if you have goggles as well, or eye protection. A ruler, rubber bands, a hammer, and a permanent marker, and a pinwheel, and water. You will also need a nail that's approximately an 1/8-inch diameter and a stove also. Now we take the hammer and the nail and we make 2 holes in the edge opposite of each other in the edge of the can. Next step is to put 2 rubber bands in the can and attach to a ruler. This is a homemade ruler, but if you have a real one, it would be good too. Attach it to the can. Now what we're gonna do is take the pot and fill it up to water, up to the half of the pot, not completely, because if not we can get some overflow. So the next step is to take the aluminum foil and put it in the pot. Make sure you cut it enough that it'll cover all the top so no heat will escape. So you place it like this. Make sure to press on the edges as much as possible. And then to make extra sure that no heat is escaping, we'll put a rubber band, but first of all, let's put another layer of aluminum foil. Again, press the edges. And done. And after that, we'll put the rubber band around it so it holds it tightly. Okay, so the next step is to take the nail and make a hole right in the middle, and make sure it cuts in through the 2 aluminum foils. There we have our hole. And now we're gonna turn on the stove, leave it on medium-high, and wait for it to boil. So while we're waiting for the water to boil, we're gonna take our pinwheel and we're gonna make a mark in one of the edges of the pinwheel. Okay, so as soon as the water starts boiling, you're gonna start to see steam coming out through the hole in the middle. You're gonna wanna wait a minute, and after that minute has passed, you will place the can on top of that hole. And we're gonna wait a little bit, wait for another minute, and then put the pinwheel on top of it. Okay, so now that we've waited a minute for the steam to come out through the can, make sure you keep looking at the mark in the pinwheel, and we're gonna put it on top of the can and the ruler. And 1, 2, 3, 4 spins. So we have 4 spins. So now we're gonna expand this activity a little by getting a timer or just using your phone and counting the amount of spins in a certain amount of time. So make sure you grab a pencil or write in your laptop or tablet, because we're gonna wanna write down how many spins it does in a certain amount of time. So here we have 30 seconds and we press start and we start to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and our 30 seconds. Okay, for our next expansion exercise, we're gonna wanna turn off the stove and remove the can with an oven mitt. And wait for it to cool down. So once the pot is completely cooled down and it's not hot anymore and it's safe to touch, we're gonna take the nail and we're gonna make 8 more holes. And we're gonna turn on the stove again, just here, to the same medium high. And once the steam starts coming out, we repeat the process again of putting the can on top of the middle hole and wait a minute for the steam to come out through the pot. So we're gonna set our timer for 30 seconds again and place the pinwheel on top of the ruler in the can, and make sure you keep your eye on the mark and see every time it touches the ruler, it passes through the ruler to count a spin. And we start now. One, 2, and our 30 seconds are done. And we are done. So for a little bit of background information, geothermal energy is the heat that is generated in the Earth's core, and we can see this steam coming out like here in the pot in geothermal reservoirs, just as hot springs and geysers like we find at Old Faithful Geyser in Yellowstone Park in Wyoming. So that steam is used in actual geothermal power plants to spin turbines to produce energy. And in this exercise, the aluminum foil represents the Earth's crust, and the holes are the geothermal reservoirs such as the geysers and the hot springs. The pot is the Earth's core, and the can and the ruler represents a power plant. And the pinwheel represents the turbines in geothermal power plants that are moved by the steam. For this activity, we simply placed it at 12 inches, and we did the same for the 2 rounds. And as you can see in your notes, we see 7 spins in the first round, and in the second round we see only 2 spins. So let's talk about that. So when a geothermal power plant is faced with many openings over a geothermal reservoir, such as in hot springs or in geysers, the steam can escape easily and not only come through the power plant. As we saw, it doesn't necessarily come through the can. So that's why we had less spins in the 8 holes and in only 1 hole.